Tarumbeta italia katika anga.
Like this. That is how the trumpet will sound.
Konene, so majuzi kuna vile nilicheki ubuda anaitwa Herman Manyora akisema that Jirongo's torch is working, and I remember your time nikishindwa like what does he mean by this. Somehow I didn't follow up on it because why? I don't think the torch is working, but still something interesting happened. So kulikuwa na hii story ama hii story ndio headline ya leo ya The Standard. Na the headline is Wetangula questioned. Hii kitu wanikakuwa Wetangu, lakini tunasemanga Wetangu. Okay, so Wetangula questioned. Then ikakuwa, while police insist the car crash that killed former Lugari MP Cyrus Jirongo was an accident, detectives have already questioned more than 20 people, including Speaker Moses Wetangula, as they try to dig into the final hours of a death that refuses to go away. As investigators piece together timelines and forensic evidence, politicians remain unconvinced, openly questioning the official narrative and demanding answers to what they insist are troubling inconsistencies. Yes. Then nikiendelea, so ni how did Cyrus Jirongo find himself in Naivasha? He is in one of the unanswered questions. Then ikakuwa, investigators want clarity on his movement before the crash, including where he was coming from. Then ikakuwa ni, was Jirongo driving himself? Detectives are seeking confirmation on whether the former Lugari MP was personally behind the wheel throughout the trip, or whether another person may have driven the vehicle at any point. Then kakwani, who are the passengers in the ill-fated Climax bus? And this has been the biggest question. Ikikam to history yote, imekuwa like, aswell kwa kina nani? Yeah? Then kakwani, authorities are establishing the identities, sitting positions, and accounts of passengers on board the Busia-bound bus whose testimonies could help reconstruct the moments before impact. And remember, nikianalyze this story, when I think about the bus, one of the things that I find strange is no one got injured on the bus. Why? I've traveled on Kenyan buses and I can guarantee you there's someone always standing at any specific point. Hata ukitoka Nairobi hivi, kuna kugana msee ameamka. Mkienda kidogo kosagi wase wawili unapiga story, msa mmoja ameamua so hiyo siku umundi alile umundi zana. So huo umundi ule umesimama, after hiyo basi zigongane lazima angeumia. That's just the way the laws of nature work, that is. So the fact that there is no umundu yote ametokea kusema that damn nilikuwa hapa, alafu pia sorry to say no radio was found at the scene. Hiyo nza ovyo jo, izeni jo. This work can be stress, you need to raha jipe mwenyewe. Then ikiendelea ikakwani, why did the airbags of Jirongo's Mercedes-Benz fail to deploy after the impact? Then kakwani, investigators are probing whether the safety systems malfunctioned, had been tampered with, or were compromised by the nature and angle of the collision. Then kakua, why were Jirongo's injuries allegedly inconsistent with those of a typical car crash? Then kakua, detectives are analyzing medical and forensic findings to determine whether the injuries with a high impact road collision or suggest unusual circumstances leading to death. So hii story of course inakuwa confusing because if you remember, after the accident happened, there were people who were naitaga first responders. So the first people wale wanaendaga pale kwa crash scene, alafu naona wakivunja mlango. So yes, I remember wakivunja mlango ya Jirongo. But then eventually when umsa naitwa Haniri alikuwa na bonga juu yake, alikuwa nasema sijui alikuwa na scratches kadhaa while you expected more. But now when the autopsy was done, hiyo pia ikasema that kulikuwa na blunt force trauma mob kabisa, and that's the reason why he died. So I don't know, and I think it's an interesting story of course. Wacha tuone vile tabaki ime unfold, and Wetangula niko sure anashindwa ni gani hizi jo. I thought hii story ishaisha, then stories zingine zinaingia. So so story ya Jirongo mnachekiaje jo? And since originally kwa tuna believe, ama kuna wasal kwa na believe that is kuna wasal kwa na believe that originally the president had played a role and there was foul play. Why is DCI investigating this? Is the president investigating himself? Acheki. I think some conspiracy theories zinakuwaga za kipumbavu, but yes, we should encourage them and what zinakuwaga haikuwa ina make sense. I feel like this guy by the time alikuwa na dedi, he was not threat to some way, and yeah, but wacha tucheki what's going to come from hizo like hizo investigations. Yes, but now another interesting story nimekuwa nikifuatilia ni story na Nini Malala. So buda anaitwa Malala, kulikuwa na the rumor that alikuwa anataka kuacha Ruto, nakumbuka, and but in the process some photos have been shared, na zile photos zinakuwa shared unamwona yeye mwenyewe wakiwa na Gachagua wakiwa hizo masaiza, inasemekana wako Kilifi wakikunywa ni maji ya mnazi. Hii maji ya mnazi waga very interesting, ukiangalia kwa TV uko like damn, I can't wait to go to coast, and till when and now you're like oh shit, this is an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. It's not something that but of course ukiwa coast lazima ufanye vya pwani, so hivi ni vya pwani. But umse akiwa hizo masai za coast aliamua kufanya an interview, and in that interview he said some really wild things, and these are the sort of things that you're like damn, I know it's Kenyan politics, but damn, wacha tusikize.
I feel very bad right now when I see a party that has been built for 20 years, a party like ODM, being auctioned in a very casual way to William Ruto. And I want to put this blame totally on one Junet Mohamed. Junet Mohamed has been Baba's right-hand man for a very long epoch. Junet Mohamed was the one who was mandated even to ensure that Baba takes his medicine on time.
For a very long epoch. Damn. So zile words jo, zile miaka zote nimekuwa huyu duniani, sijawahi sema epoch. Unajua, kuna na kitu interesting au sema gati every day an English sentence is constructed that had never been constructed before. Does that make sense? Like every day. So maybe for a very long epoch, maybe, just maybe. Okay, but I don't know English like that. Tuendele.
Junet Mohamed was even more than or closer to Baba than even his children. Baba really entrusted Junet with his life. Sadly, he's the one who has caused Baba to lose all the elections. The other day you saw Sifuna saying that Junet Mohamed ate, or rather misappropriated monies meant for agents. I want to confirm that here in this interview today. I was William Ruto's right-hand man. We were in UDA. At night, Junet used to come to see William Ruto.
Damn. So that's that wild allegation that Junet alikuwa anaenda kuona Ruto while at the same time working for Raila. This is one of those allegations that, okay, it depends with which side you're on. Because if you're the sort of person who anachukia Junet, you'll want that to be true. But then if you look at it realistically, you'll be there like, Uhuru was the president. And if Uhuru was the president and he was getting briefs from NIS, how didn't any NIS detect that Junet alikuwa anaenda kuona? Unacheki, that's where the story starts crumbling, like it starts making no sense. But I don't know, maybe utaniambia hapo kwa comments, like do you think history ya Junet ni ukweli? Could it have actually happened that Junet alikuwa na Raila at this point, then ana sneak out anaenda kucheki Ruto? Wacha tusikia alikuwa na cheki Ruto kufanya nini.
Brief him on everything. We even had the list of agents for ODM across the country. We knew who was going to be an agent of ODM in which place. Courtesy of Junet. That guy started betraying Baba when he was still alive. Now, he has decided to fight Raila's family. You know very well that ODM is not a product of Jaramogi family. ODM is a product of the Odinga's family.
Damn, okay. So, Junet saa hizi, is Junet fighting the Nini family? I think ODM is just iko tu na hizo internal fights, and the internal fights is all of them believe that they are the next Raila, and which is najua it's natural to believe that you're the best, especially ukiona wale so watu wamebaki, utafeel like out of all these people I'm the shit, but normally that has to be backed by something, and in this situation it's not backed by anything, it's just backed by confidence. So but yeah, so this is some very wild allegations. Okay, but tuendelee kidogo.
Are we on the same page? Now Junet is using the Jaramogi family to fight the Odinga's family. Look at how Winnie and his brother are being frustrated in their own party. Raila's bones have not started even decomposing.
So ilikuwa ni Malala alisema hivyo. Alafu one of the guys in Ruto's camp, umso ni mamaga sana because he has very swift responses. Kunaga inakuwaga ni iko nene, kaende. Asijui umsa alikuwa anaona gele kujei kitambo because waga lazima lips lazima zilambwe jo. So wacha tusikie umsa wa kulamba lips alisema nini jo history ya Malala.
Malala, wacha ukora ndogo. Ndugu yangu, anza kuwa machua kidogo. Atunasema Junet alifanya nini? Junet alikuwa anapelekea list William Ruto. Kama kuna mtu alikuwa na hate William Ruto, Junet was my friend, hata akiwa the other side. Raila Odinga was my father, akiwa the other side. You cannot tell us that Junet alikuwa anakuja kuona William Ruto usiku sijui nini. Wacha ukora ndogo Malala. Leo ukora ndio ilikupeleka mpaka huko nyumbani sasa hii. Na naona bado utaenda kabisa, sijui utaelekea wapi.
Kwa nashindo konia naambua ukora ndio ilimpeleka nyumbani. Of course Junet alikuwa si Junet, Malala alikuwa the Secretary General wa UDA afa kabaki ametolewa. That was strange. That's one of those exits that I didn't expect to happen. Alafu of course wakabaki wamesiti Hassan Omar, and Hassan Omar has been on that seat, and so msa anasema hiyo ukora ndio ilifanya msa akatolewa.
Na huyo jamaa wako wa DCP, wewe unajua vizuri ndio ukapata kiti ya UDA, na unajua nilikuwa nakutakia PS ikakwama, nilikuwa nakutakia waziri ikakwama, kwa sababu ya unaelewa sitaki kusema, na ndio nikakukataza nikakwambia hii barabara unaenda pia hii ya kufuata hii mtu utapotea, na naona bado unaenda tu kwa mtaro. Wacha kuongea uongo tafadhali.
Endelea kuwa mtaro. Oh damn, umsa alikuwa anafaa kwa CS, kwa anafaa kwa PS. Okay, kwa CS wa nini? Ma PS wa nini? Well, maybe something to do with theater, because nakumbuka tukiambia umsa alikuwa gamode wa theater mkali sana. So ituliambwa na Paul wa Kimani. But I don't know, what would he have been? Because these are political assignments, like what else would you give him? Because theater I understand. Hata kumbuka majuzi after atoke kuwa UDA Secretary General kuna play alibaki ameproduce ikaleta shida. But tuendelee.
Familia Raila Odinga wachana naye. Wacha wapigane na maneno yao. Wewe utasort. Lakini usiingishe ukora ati Junet alikuwa anafanya hii, alikuwa anakuja kuona William Ruto. Kama kuna mtu alikuwa hata amini atafanya kazi na William Ruto ni Junet Mohamed. Please, me I stand with Junet. Wacha ujinga na wacha utapeli. Wacha ublale fucking.
Acha ujinga. Acha utapeli. Acha ublale fucking. Okay. So, where place huko niambie, like, do you think history na make sense, history ya Junet? Because sometimes au samagani, is it failure? Failure inakuwa na many fathers. Because the blame will always be there. It was Junet. So kutakuwa na seka kina Sifuna anasema msa alikula doya agents, which makes sense. Yani it's not specifically Junet, but doya agents kudishiwa ODM. That makes sense because those people never had agents. Majuzi kulikuwa na buda fulani, I think wa Narok, hiyo video sijui kula iko, but tulishare kwa one of the episodes akibonga vile it was very easy to manipulate ODM votes because he knew there was no one there. So mko mnakaaga tu chini, mnasikiza na watu mko pale, mtu anachotewa, alafu mna decide hapa ni, alafu it was never the ODM person. Why? Because they never pay they never used to pay watu wao. So who is saying the truth according to wewe, ama who's telling the truth? Is it Malala or is it Oscar Sudi? Baki umenishtua. Konene, najua mwaka ni mpya lakini injili ni ile ile lemfi. So kama uko US, uko UK, uko Canada ama uko the UAE na unatry kutuma do Kenya, baki umechangamka, ingia lemfi, utabaki umepata the most competitive rates. Lakini apart from that, on your first transaction ya $100 or more, utapata $20 sign up reward. So unangoja nini? Baki umechangamka, chap chap, ingia lemfi. Lemfi, international payments for everyone. Konene. But kutoka hapo, kuna kitu interesting ili happen on Monday. Kuna interview yetu ili go out, kuna bonga juu ya the Kazi Maju scandal, and the Kazi Maju scandal, such a big scandal. It's actually sad that na feel kama hiyo story could resonate with a lot of people, but yeah, go share watch, tell a friend abaki me watch. And I think that somehow, of course, Gava iko very happy that story didn't go anywhere, but in the process what has happened, Gava imeamua sasa kwanza ku crack down on wale watu walikuwa involved kwa hii scam ya Kazi Maju. So it was interesting. Is it a coincidence ama is it sort of a reaction? Wacha tusikize.
Limited was able to take some people to Dubai, but then Gloryven International and Taushi Tours and Travel have not been able to show us where the money went. And therefore, the DCI have issued summons to the following individuals who happen to be husband and wife, who between them are holding 18 million shillings belonging to the government of Kenya through the youth fund, which they are vanished with, and which young people are waiting to be taken overseas, and that is government money. And so, if you see them, tell them that they have summons, they need to report to the DCI. This is Mr. Vincent Omondi Oyugi, Mr. Vincent Omondi Oyugi, and his wife, Rachel Njoki Kariuki.
Nasikia hiyo, Vincent Omondi na Rachel Kariuki. So apparently wamepatiwa 18 million pesa ya Gava. That means that kumbuka kila mtu alikuwa anapatiwa ni 181,000. So that means like 100 people maybe might have gone through their hands. I don't know, but that's the quick calculation as abaki nimemake. And yeah, wacha tuendelee.
Njoki, Rachel Njoki Kariuki, they are being looked for. Wanatafutwa na DCI mara moja. Wamekula pesa youth fund, vijana wajaenda, na we need that money. We need people to be sent overseas. They need to show us where they have taken that money. Kama wamenunua Mercedes Benz, use it. Lakini we cannot steal people's money and get away by abusing it. You know, mkono wa serikali ni mrefu. Finally, advisory. My advisory is this: please let us avoid unscrupulous and unregistered persons.
So hii kitu ni interesting. Utacheki vile atabonga juu unscrupulous and unregistered, but koli wachole maboy utacheki wakisema specifically like that Zawadi jobs is something that they were connected to by the government. They didn't know about it. So for the government starts blaming like the victims that they are the ones who chose these places, ni upuzi. So but wacha tuendelee.
If the deal is too sweet to be true, then it is a lie. It's a process. Somebody offers you a big job somewhere, please do investigation. If that person is not listed, if the job is not listed in the website of the National Employment Agency, which is accessible 24 hours, then avoid that person.
So kitu fani ni watu walikuja hapa ama maboy pia nibongesha na wakanichanua juu story ya national employment, and that Zawadi blah 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 thing is on national employment, and the jobs are still being advertised, and according to them kuna udem alilipa last year April haja travel, alafu kuna wengine wote wale ni watu wa October haja travel. So this is still the CS being very dishonest.
If you have any problems, come to my office, come to my PS's office, send a message to NEA, and they will tell you whether that person is real or a crook. Do not give money to individuals. Do not pay money to individuals. deal with a company, deal with a registered company.
These people have all been dealing with companies, najua. So have they dealt with individuals to a certain level? Of course, wakibongaji medical test where even men were being tested for pregnancy. Yes, that time walikuwa na deal na nini. But yes, so hii story ya CS, wanaweza niambia, do you think it's a reaction to ile story? Na wamebambika sana that the other story didn't, I think a lot of people did not relate to it because it's not everyone anatry kwenda majuu. And I think pia wase wagawana separate vitu kama youth fund from taxes. Wasa wanafikiria this youth fund money comes from maybe, I don't know, maybe from outer space. Yes, so kulikuwa na hiyo. But naweza taka kujua like what do you think about that? But kimaliza hizi stories za asubuhi, wacha nicheki story ingine jo. Kuna vile Sakaja aliamua kuplay zile stories za nazitanga ni populist politics. Ile kuna Islam itoni mkuru kwa jenga. So hii mkuru kwa jenga inakuwa demolished. Na inafaa demolished ndio I think kuna like part of it fa kudemolishiwa for barabara. And kalienda kakinuka. Wacha tusikize Sakaja.
All physical planning is under the county. Sure. Even national government projects get approval in the county. Sure. My friend. And they must be filed and kept with us. So we know the games that are going on. So for today we have stopped this demolition. These vehicles are going out. It will not happen. Any action that will be taken here must be signed off with the people. Because ultimately we can tell the people to remain. And we do our ethics. Sure. You know, I mean, what is so hard? Are Nairobians less than the people of Mombasa? These people, I mean, they have gone through so much. The stress, the strain, the distress. Yeah? But what waheshimiwe? Na county heshimiwe. Na hata serikali heshimiwe because this is not a government thing.
Okay. So, interesting considering I think ni Robo alikuwa tupatia juu some horror stories was na happen like to people who rent houses hizo Masai za Kariako. Like kuna hizi like waivers zaziko zimefanywa na Sonko. Zile msa aliingia kabaki amesema hazirecognize and in the process maboy wakakuwa unleashed ama ni goons wakakuwa unleashed. So it's interesting to hear him talk like this.
It's not. It is not. So these people have been here for so long, you know. We have made many roads here. You've come on roads. Every time we want to do a road because of involving the public. Wananchi si wajinga, they're not animals. You can sit and reason, okay, we need these 4 houses out, we'll compensate songeni hapa barabara itasaidia kila mtu, and they normally do it. Lakini hii kifua hii ni ufala sana.
Okay, hii kifua hii ni ufala sana. So I just think ni hizi populist politics za Kenya. The reality is sisi hapa kama Kenya, for politicians to protect their votes, that's one of the reasons why our roads are very dangerous. That's the reason why hakuna rules. That's the reason why. So kuna a lot of disadvantages that come with the government being understanding. But history ya Mkuru, of course, sijaienda hiyo area, so I don't know what's happening there, but I just think this is some populist politics. But unafilaje? Baki umenishtua. Good morning. Eko nene.